Hey guys, I'm going to be doing something pretty different for me today. A Cantonese style barbecue duck. Never made this before. Did a lot of research online trying to find what I felt was the most authentic recipe. And I finally found it. I was basing it on the names of the chefs and also the ingredients. And I found one that had some pretty, for me at least, kind of obscure ingredients. I actually had to go to Asian market to even find. So let's get started. I have my duck right here. I've already cleaned it. There's some deposits of fat that I needed to remove from inside here. Actually, a few little feathers I had to pluck. And it's about 5.5 pounds. First thing we're going to do is blanch it. I've got some water boiling back here. I'm going to blanch it just a few, 2 minutes or so in the boiling water. Then we'll get to the next step. So bear with me. All right. Duck's been blanched in the water, and now what I'm going to do is rub the duck on the outside with kosher salt. For those of you who may not know, the Cantonese style duck, it's got a really nice crisp, almost red skin. And if you live in or if you've ever been to a bigger city where they have Chinatowns, you'll see these ducks hanging in the window of the restaurants that sell this stuff, and it is great. Even people who don't really care for duck, I think, like this. And it's comes out very, very crisp. The skin is real crisp and thin. There's not a lot of fat in the skin by the time we're done with this. So, okay, I'm going to sew up the neck now, the cavity right here, and we're going to start making what the recipe is referring to as a stuffing, and then also the coating, or the sauce for the outside. All right, now we're going to make the sauce that goes inside the cavity of the duck. And in this saucepan right now, I have 1 tablespoon of peanut oil. I'm going to add 1 chopped spring onion or green onion. About a teaspoon of chopped fresh ginger root. And add 1 tablespoon of baker sugar. Depending on where you live, it might be called caster sugar. I got rice wine, your Chinese rice wine. I'll be adding 2 tablespoons. One tablespoon of bean sauce, Chinese bean sauce, or bean paste actually. One tablespoon of hoisin sauce. Two teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice powder. For those of you keeping count, this is just a 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon here. So now what I'm going to do is just stir this, make sure it all kind of melts together. That's really good. That's 5-spice. It has fennel, anise, ginger, cinnamon, and cloves. And I got this at an Asian market. All right, this is looking pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and fill the cavity of the duck. All right, obviously the duck, got the sauce that I just made. Next step is putting this into the cavity of the duck. This really, I mean, smells like a Chinese restaurant in here right now. Which for me is a good thing. I love Chinese food. It's one of my all-time favorite dishes. It's very, there's a lot of steps here, but it's pretty easy. I mean, as far as the ingredients and the cooking directions. It's just, I guess you have to have the patience to do all these steps. So, all right, cavity's filled now. What I'm going to do is sew up the rear of the duck here. Then we're going to make the barbecue sauce that goes on the outside of this. So we'll be back in a sec. Okay, now we're going to make the barbecue sauce for the outside of the duck. First thing, I have 2 cups of water in this pot here. It's not boiling, but it is heated up though. It's warm water. First ingredient is going to be maltose. And now, I personally, before looking into this dish, had never heard of maltose. It's I guess it's used in brewing beer, but it's also pretty heavily used in a lot of Chinese cooking, especially pastries. And it's a lot like honey, but it's pretty darn heavy. And I tasted it. It's not quite as sweet as honey. It's kind of multi-flavored, actually. It's got wheat and all sorts of crazy stuff. But anyway, it's pretty tasty. It's not too sweet. If you don't have this, you use honey. Okay, this is going to be fun because it's really viscous. I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of this stuff in here. The fun part is just dissolving it. And this stuff's like, I mean, you could glue a floor down with this stuff. My wife's gonna kill me when I'll clean this stuff up though. Okay, one more. Just gonna leave that in here, let it kind of soak. All right. Next is going to be 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. Now this next ingredient is optional, but like I said, the ducks you see in Chinatown, the Asian cafes and such, really red. I mean, it's real bright skin. And the ingredients call for 1/2 teaspoon of red food coloring. Like I said, this is just totally optional. It doesn't add any flavor, but it does add that, what I think looks pretty cool, that bright color. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just get this all good and dissolved, and then we'll apply it to the bird. All right, now probably the most simple part of this whole process here is to start applying this sauce. And just several coatings of this stuff here to the duck. And we're going to save some of this for basting as well. All right, so I've done several coatings of the barbecue sauce on the duck. I also wanted to take the time to make one correction. I had said 2 cups of warm water. It's 1 cup. All the other measurements I gave were correct, but it's 1 cup of water, 4 cups of maltose, or 4 tablespoons of maltose, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. All right, so we have another step we have to do before we get it on the grill. So let's go over to my corner of my kitchen. I want to show you what we're going to do. All right, so here is the final step before we get to start cooking this thing. And basically, the instructions say hang the duck in a cool, breezy place for 4 to 5 hours, and or you can hang it inside, the house in a cool area with a fan blowing on it. So I've got my AC cranked up and got a small house fan that I'm going to have blowing on this thing for 5 hours, and we're going to see what happens. Basically, the goal is, you want to kind of dehydrate the skin and kind of render out the fat between the skin. Just kind of helps with the crispiness and everything. This is the one thing that's very foreign to me as far as cooking. I've never done anything like this before, but I looked, hundreds of recipes, including the Peking duck recipes, and this is one of the common things they do when preparing this dish. So I'll see you guys in 5 hours. We're going to get the fan going, and then we'll get this on the grill. All right, so 5 hours is up, and it's in the roasting pan now. Because of how high my roasting rack is, I was forced to use the rotisserie ring here just so the lid would clear. But normally, a regular chicken roasting rack, which I cannot find mine, it's a lot lower than this. You won't have this problem. So anyway, I added 8 ounces of water to the pan here just to kind of help catch the drippings, so it doesn't splatter and smoke. And put the lid on, and I'm going to try to maintain about 350 degree temp. I'm guessing it's going to be about an hour, but I'm going to be checking it periodically. Also give it another baste. Anyway, we'll check back in a bit. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half, and as you can see, it is very much done. Really nice color there. I'm going to take it inside, let it cool for a few minutes while I work on the side dishes, and we'll get it carved up. And here we are, the finished product. It turned out really good. Real flavorful, skin is crisp. It was fun, so definitely going to be doing this again. I think I'm going to probably try this with chicken too. So anyway, thanks for watching.